to use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to another, to create a strong opening and conclusion, and to use body language and hand gestures to help emphasize points.
Thank you. And Chris says about speeches, I feel I'm a part of a team at work where I'm helping the church services run smoothly, at volleyball where I help my team play its best, and in classes with group projects. I enjoy being part of different teams where I can learn to work and interact with others while doing something fun and productive. Chris Bassett.
It's Saturday afternoon before final exams week. I've been studying all morning, and I'm trying to decide between going to a study session with my classmates and staying home and studying on my own. The pressure of limited time before my final in a couple of days raises my anxiety to a high level. But if I go to the study session, I won't have time to study on my own. I need more time to study on my own, or I won't be ready for my exam on Monday. So maybe I should stay home and study. But this is a great opportunity to do something social with my classmates. They invited me, and I'll feel bad if I don't go. It's almost time to leave. What should I do? Well, if it's important for me to go, then I should just go. I'll be studying there, so maybe I won't need as much time to study on my own afterwards. Maybe I can go for a little bit and still have time to study on my own afterwards. Okay, that's what I'll do. When my anxiety is high, I tense up. I have racing thoughts that make it hard to think clearly. And I feel like my whole world depends on what I choose to do next. Luckily, I've found some helpful practices to manage the anxiety when it comes up. Today I'll be talking about 3 I find most helpful: movement, talking with someone I trust, and reframing negative thoughts. Movement includes exercise, walking, deep breathing, or any other kind of intentional physical activity. When I'm feeling anxious, often the anxiety manifests itself physically in my body as tension and nervous energy. Going for a walk, stretching, doing some push-ups really helps me to release that pent-up energy and helps to keep me grounded and clear my head. If I'm someplace where it's inconvenient to exercise, I go to deep breathing to fill my lungs with oxygen and calm my mind. The second practice I use to manage anxiety is talking with someone I trust. A close family member or friend, someone I can vent to and who can keep me grounded in reality. I'm fortunate enough to have a loving and trusting relationship with my parents, and often I'll talk with my mom when I'm feeling anxious. The act of sharing my anxious thoughts helps me to understand them better and to see them more clearly. I've also noticed that almost always my anxiety is partly caused by feeling alone or unsupported in some way. And talking with someone I trust helps me to feel supported and connected. I'm then able to either take action to directly help the situation or to begin to challenge the anxious thoughts by questioning how well they reflect reality. The third practice I use to manage anxiety is reframing negative thoughts. Often at the core of my anxiety are negative thoughts. These thoughts tend to be extreme and one-sided. However, when I'm anxious, I often take these thoughts to be reality. One of the most useful tools I've found in managing my anxiety is CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy. CBT involves noticing the thoughts that are causing the anxiety and then questioning how realistic they are. Then it involves reframing the thoughts to be more realistic. For example, take the thought, I don't have enough time to study. First, I can ask the question, how true is this thought? Do I really not have enough time to do the studying I need to do? Then I can consider options that the original thought may have left out, like maybe I can make some time tonight or tomorrow morning to study. And then finally, I can now reframe the original thought to include the options I just found. I'm short on time at the moment, but I can make time tonight or tomorrow morning to finish studying. This thought is less limiting and more in line with reality. As a result, the anxiety associated with the original thought is diminished as this new, more realistic thought takes its place. Thought reframing also helps me to catch thinking errors that are often found in anxious thinking. 3 of the most common thinking errors are black and white thinking, catastrophizing, and mind reading. Have you ever caught yourself thinking in terms of everything is either all good or all bad? That's black and white thinking. For example, if I don't look like a model, I must be ugly. Catastrophizing is when you exaggerate the consequences of things going wrong, imagining that they'll be disastrous. And mind reading is assuming that you know what other people are thinking and assume that they're focusing on your faults or weaknesses. These are just some of the thinking errors that can occur. And by identifying them in anxious thoughts, I can immediately see how the thoughts may be unrealistic or overly negative and begin to reframe them. So, even though my anxiety can be very hard to deal with at times, I found that it is manageable through practices like movement, talking with someone I trust, and reframing negative thoughts. As I become more experienced practicing these techniques, my anxiety is slowly becoming easier to manage.